Hello everyone, my name is UltimoFive and today we're going over the Nikana Prime, the Rising Sun. The Nikana Prime is the prime variant of the Nikana from Arcane Prime's release and is obtained by opening a variety of relics and requires these materials from those relics to make it. Requires a mastery rank of 12. The Nikana Prime comes with a V and D polarity slot, and along with this a V Exilis polarity slot. Because of this, the builds for this weapon require 3 forma. And like most of my melee builds, the Nikana Prime excels in medium to large crowd slaughter, but at low level it can suffer with a few enemies around. Since the Nikana Prime is a direct upgrade from the Dragon Nikana, which is an upgrade of the base Nikana, we will be comparing stats to the Dragon Nikana instead. In this case, the stats would be that it has higher base damage, higher critical chance, higher critical multiplier, higher status chance, and a higher attack speed. Advantages for the weapon would be that it has high slash damage, the highest critical chance and critical multiplier of all Nikanas, high status chance, and a fast attack speed. Disadvantages for the weapon, however, would be that it has extremely low puncture and impact damage. Before I go over the builds, I just wanted to say that it doesn't matter which stance you pick for the weapon. It is all based on your playstyle. For example, I prefer Decisive Judgment, but my friends prefer Blind Justice. The element for the Nikana Prime against the Corpus would be Toxin. Toxin deals 50% base damage per second over 6 seconds, and stacks indefinitely with each instance having its own timer. The build's flex slot is Primed Fury, and doesn't really make the build do more damage, but instead increases the sustained DPS. That being said, it performs really well against the Corpus human enemies, and once it gets going, it can start dealing with armored enemies such as the Bursa or Oxy Musspray in a few hits. The element for the Nikana Prime against the Corrupting Grineer will be Viral. Viral amplifies health damage by 100% for 6 seconds and stacks up to 10 times for a total of 325%. The build's flex slot is Carnus Mandible, but I wouldn't remove it for anything else other than a Riven. I usually use Carnus Mandible in my non-stacking builds, but for once it really shines on the Corrupting Grineer build by giving a massive increase to the average hit damage and sustained DPS of the weapon. Also yes, I know it doesn't increase slash proc damage, but it does increase the chance of when a slash proc appears from 27% to 42%, which pairs perfectly with Viral. The element for the Nikana Prime against the Infested would be Corrosive and Heat. Corrosive reduces armor by 26% for 8 seconds and stacks up to 10 times for a total of 80%. Meanwhile, Heat deals 50% base damage per second over 6 seconds while stripping up to 50% armor and causes targets to panic. The build's flex slot is Volcanic Edge and gives a massive increase to the average hit damage and sustained DPS. Though not as good as his Corrupted and Grineer build, once it gets going, it can easily shred all Infested in a couple hits. The elements for the Nikana Prime with the non-stacking build will follow Toxin for Corpus, Viral for Corrupted and Grineer, and Corrosive for Infested. This build is for those who want to use the weapon for priming condition overload, or those who don't like stacking for increased critical chance or damage. Note that this build is mainly for those reasons I have listed, and that this weapon does perform well against high leveled enemies, even though its sustained damage is 37,000 less. Feather Strike, in place of Primed Feather Strike if you don't have it. Pressure Point, in place of Prime Pressure Point in the non-stacking build if you don't have it. True Steel, in place of Sacrificial Steel in the non-stacking build if you don't have it. Amalgam Organ Shatter, in place of Organ Shatter if you use heavy attacks and are okay with losing 5% critical damage. And Gladiator Rush, in place of Gladiator Might if you don't have Naramon Focus or can't handle the combo chain duration. Primed Reach. The Nikana Prime has a range of 2.5 meters and is bare minimum for when I think range increase isn't necessary anymore. The only thing increasing range really does is help with hitting more enemies to increase the combo chance, and that is it. Why sacrifice damage? There are several ways to enhance critical chance and damage for this weapon. For instance, for damage, Rhino's Roar, Valkyrie's Warcry, which bolsters attack speed in turn increasing DPS, Nova's Molecular Prime, which makes all sources of damage increase by 100% against all primed enemies. Mirage's Eclipse mixed with her Hall of Mirrors adds a massive damage bonus during the day or in light. And Sarn's Toxic Lash mixed with her Spores abilities. For critical chance, Haro's Covenant can add up to 50% critical chance and 200% on headshots. The Udarza Kavat with Cat's Eye can give a 60% critical chance boost, and Smita Kavat with Charm can give a 200% crit chance. Arcane Fury. Upon critical hit, 60% chance for 180% melee damage to melee weapons for 18 seconds. Arcane Blade Charger. Upon primary weapon kill, 30% chance for 300% melee damage for 12 seconds. And Arcane Strike. On hit, 15% chance for 60% attack speed to melee weapons for 18 seconds. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more guides on Warframe builds, please click the like and sub button to let me know. And as per usual, I will see you guys on the next video. Goodbye.